Something like that. That's gone all the way. I'm surprised Latham that one. He's got 6 forward. That's the end of the 32nd over. One spin up.
All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. As promised, we said we were going to go live. I'm currently waiting for Walter and Sam to join us. But there's a few things for us to talk about tonight. So I'm going to await Walter's entry and Sam's entry. But we're not looking too hot right now. We are not looking too hot at all right now. Started off this morning. Good lines, good lengths, but we couldn't sustain the pressure. So the New Zealanders, they stuck to their guns. And that wasn't helped by the fact that Anderson Phillip and Justin Graves, but Phillip to a large extent, and Roach after lunch didn't stick to their guns. So New Zealanders are scoring runs at will right now. Devon Conway seems to look like he's having a nice stroll down at the beach. It doesn't make for good watching right now. It doesn't. And then Justin Graves came on and served up something nice and juicy on leg stump, and Conway took full advantage. It's just not making for a pretty watch right now. Anyways, let me know where you guys are coming in from. Drop it in the chat where you're watching from. We are going to be here until tea time. So let me know where you're watching from. About to attack some people right now.
Well, it's a little bit more uncertain there, right back. Or is about as bad been running between the wickets. Suddenly realised there was a run.
This just goes out to show that. Yeah, Valence. It seems like if they have every intention of batting once. Good night, Rads. What's up, my boy? What's up? Sure win. Big up yourself. Hope you're staying warm in New York. Have me a glass of wine while I watch you boys take a beating. Mike Gill, take it easy, Madon. Dan Jean, or Dan Jean, I should say. Houston, Texas. That's everything is bigger in Texas. Tell me if it's true. I gotta make my way out to Texas any which ways. I wanna come to Houston and watch a Rockets game. So talk to me, people. Talk to me. What y'all thought about the morning session? what y'all thought about the morning session. We gonna work we way up to what's going on right now. But tell me what y'all thought about the morning session. Showing, but if we go young, right? Let me ask this question. Who are some of the younger players that you will go with? Hey, yo, Andre, I might need some Ray and the nephew for real. I had some, and it finished. Ray said too many earrings glittering in the ears. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oof. Crouches down, loads up, and he's walloped him to the boundary. Walter's here. The big Walter's here.
Good night, people. Oh boy. This look like a long day.
It does, bro, it does look like a long day. Sammy Fan Club, big up yourself. Big up yourself. I'm taking it you're coming from St. Lucia. Did you get to look at the first session, Walter?
The last half, I was getting home, and then I look for when Greaves and it was Greaves and Seals were going in earth. Yeah, and then I turned to and then I look at the last over of the Australia.
Yeah, I watched that also. I watched that.
Then I had to go and do something. That's why I come on late. Ooh.
So
how Phillips look on this as he come back?
Ordinary, very ordinary. It's one or two boundary balls for over.
Yeah, this was some from the last test.
Yeah, it's one or two boundary balls.
Maybe that's what Sammy and them saw. They weren't playing him. The consistency is not there. If all the bowlers, I don't know.
So Roach and Seal started pretty well, right?
Yeah.
They were beating the bat, and but the problem with them was they just didn't hit those lines and lengths often enough.
Yeah.
Right? So they would hit a good line, beat the bat, and then
wide.
They need to take Philip. Here's what's going to happen in this test match. Jaden Seals.
Yeah.
Jaden Seals and Kemar Roach and probably Ruston Chase going to have to end up bowling a ton of overs.
Yeah, and they'll be counterproductive.
Yes, especially if Philip doesn't hold up his end. But people, go ahead, Walter.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right, because on this they can justify why Sammy and them left him out. It's like he's not both. Like, but I don't understand, like, somebody that plays so much. Just take your time, man. Don't. This thing is simple. This is really, as the name of our top podcast, top of off.
Yeah.
You literally just bowl straight.
Most of the balls that Anderson Phillip has bowled has been either on middle and leg or wide outside off stump.
Mm-hmm.
There's been the few odd balls that he's gotten up in the good areas has beaten the bat. And I'm saying to myself, so what is so hard about sticking there? Or why is it so hard to stick there?
Maybe you should bowl on the other side of the wicket.
Your field is set for the other side of the wicket. But Walter, I want us to get into our topics for tonight while we watch this this stroll at the park by New Zealand right now.
Mhm.
Two New Zealand openers, so well.
So people, there are some things that we're going to talk about tonight. Let me pull up the topics. Well, we essentially covered what we wanted to talk about. The first topic, no sustained pressure by the West Indian bowlers in the first session. New Zealand were quite comfortable. But the other two topics that we wanted to talk about tonight is, well, I'll take our turn down there.
Sorry.
Yeah, there were some comments made by Carl Hooper and Dave Cameron on the Mason and Guest show yesterday. And we on top of off, we would like to address those, as we have different opinions. And the third thing that we would like to speak about tonight is the West Indies named there on the 19th squad, and there's a young man in there that we were calling for that needed to be in there, that is in there, that I think significantly upgrades that squad.
Mhm.
Because
And it's a good squad.
Yeah, it's a good squad. Joshua Dorn and Van Lang were going to need some help in that middle order, and he provides that help.
Hopefully.
This is a perfect opportunity for him to close out his under-19 career with a bang.
You know, West Indian players get when we get too big, we start to show off and start to not miss the plot. But I think this is his level, so he should dominate.
Yeah, I thought it's this. Andre, the ball is swinging, but you can't. You have to manage that swing, right? You have to get the ball up there. You have to get it in the right areas and allow it to do what it's supposed to do, right? You have to get the ball up in the right areas. Sherwin, I don't agree with the fact that what you're saying, or the opinion that you have that Roach is a morning bowler. I can't support that. As one of my old lecturers used to say, I can't support that. So, Walter, our own Carl Hooper was on the Mason and Guest show.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying that West Indies, in the current first-class structure, the issue is not more first-class cricket because what we currently have is not good enough. So my first question to Carl Hooper would be, what is good enough? Or what should be, or how should I put this? What does he think is good enough? Because if we're not playing more cricket, I would like to know if 5 matches is enough. Right? I would really like to know if 5 matches is enough.
How many of the guys played in Ranji Trophy?
Walter, them guys has played plethora.
Cricket whole year.
Cricket is played in India whole year, as far as I see. There's always some form of cricket going on, right?
That man even the win ball cricket is a big thing. That man got it every level. So it's the culture.
Right,
but
culture.
What Carl Hooper is saying is that, all right, even if you're playing 5 matches, he could justify and say, okay, and which is not enough. 5 matches could never be enough. But he's saying, okay, maybe let's have quality, better pitches. And I think the pitches have been improving of late throughout the Caribbean. I think they've made an effort to do that. I must give them that. Right? Not what happened in the Intercounty in Guyana, though. Them nonsense that they play on it was terrible. But I'm talking about the first class level. It's not, you could 5 matches, 7 matches could never be enough. We need, listen to me, even when we played 10 matches, I still think it wasn't enough for me. I don't think it's enough. I think that I think that we should play at least 15 matches. We have the weather, the grounds, the infrastructure to play that. And I'm saying this here to Carl and all the others. We don't have, and I've said it a number of times, y'all could, who are frequent listeners, could agree with what I've said. That I think that we don't care. We don't have to get big fancy first class. They don't have to stay in the fancy first class. We don't have to get the televised. I'm good with a little cheap YouTube stream. And I don't even have to have that. I prefer for the start, we play on proper grounds. Let's say all of us, everybody go to, because people going no more to the cricket right now. So let's start over. Let us reboot. We go to Trinidad. We play all the rounds there, and then we say, okay, we could move to Barbados, and then we move to Jamaica or some other place, depending on the season. And we have 3 rounds of cricket, and we could do the same thing. And I think it would work out cheaper. They don't have to stay in the fancy hotels. They could rent a couple of houses close to Airbnbs and do these things and have cooks.
Me ain't worried about that. That makes sense, right? That you look, if you don't have money, you have to look at ways of cost cutting, right? My issue comes where, let's take a look, and this was brought up by, I think, by Chris Darren the other day, or somebody. How is it that when teams come to the West Indies and all this kind of stuff, and their international tournaments, right? All these hotels and stuff, they make money off of the cricket team play.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you can't give the give the first class teams a break? The airlines, you're telling me you can't give the first class teams a break? You understand me?
I ain't even begging them. I thinking outside of the box. I know how we stay. And listen to me, if the quality starts to rise, brother, people will come. If we're organized enough, people will come. Our problem in the Caribbean, our problem as Caribbean people as a whole, is that we want to be like the Americans. I remember when at university we talk about the Westminster system and how the Westminster system does not work because each Caribbean country has it's different from the European countries. It's the same thing applies, bro. If we are if we're going to we have to have something that suits us. We don't have that's what I'm thinking out of the box. We got to stay in the fancy hotel. We don't beg them, man.
No. I get that, right? I get that. And as we talk, the rains have come.
Yay.
It might give the West Indies a reprieve, a chance to reset, recalibrate, and come back. You know, sometimes breaks do help. Right? Breaks do help. On the other side of what Carl is saying, here's why I disagree. You can't tell me that you're going to play 5 matches or 7 matches per season, and that is adequate enough preparation for someone that you're asking to go and play at the higher level, given the fact that we rarely play any 18 matches. You understand? So what we have is a bunch of players who are severely undercooked, right? They're undercooked. We send our players undercooked, and then when we go to play these international, or when we have these international engagements, there's no preparation. There's no prep matches. You go there and you probably have a light run out against like the team that West Indies played before the first test match. That's not adequate enough. We showed up in India, didn't have a match. Showed up in England, didn't have a match. Showed up in Australia, had some match against some first class or prime ministers
Elect
11 or
11,
whatever.
yeah. Mm.
And it was like it was a net session. No, we don't need net sessions. We need actual competitive matches to prepare. Actual competitive matches. But going back to Carl's point of not having enough match or playing 5 or 7 matches is sufficient enough, that is madness. Players don't get experience by playing less. You don't get experience by playing less. You don't make runs by not being out in the middle. So how not playing enough gives you the adequate experience? It doesn't, right? So I am going to rubbish what Carl is saying. I'm going to rubbish what Carl is saying. The second point that I want us to talk about from that Mason and Guest show is Dave Cameron went on there and said the first class system was working when he was president of the West Indies Cricket Board. Utter madness. Utter madness. What is going on here right now in West Indies the first class, the professional first class setup that we have, that's his legacy. That's what we have right now. His legacy, something that is not fit for purpose. And Kishore Shallow and Ricky Skerritt haven't done much to change it. I don't know. What I can say is when he was the president of the board, we had better players. But I will say this, they didn't come up under him. They weren't as a result of the first class system that he and his crew, his executive and his board put online. No, Bravo and them were and Chris Gale and Marlon Samuels and all these guys were from the early 2000s. So Chris Gale's from the 90s. Chandapal is from the 90s. Those were the last set of players that came up in a truly competitive first class system. You understand? So I can't understand how Dave Cameron is sitting there and saying it was working. No, it wasn't. If it was working, we would not be seeing this that we're seeing here right now. You're mute.
But during that time, the best cricket that we've played in the last couple of years, funny enough, is within the last year or 2 years. In the last 10 years, the best cricket we've played is within the last 2 years. And it's not the best cricket.
No, it's nowhere near to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Right? It's nowhere where we need to be. Because there's no consistency.
And it goes to show why I say that we need more cricket. Anderson Phillip is a perfect example. At the first class level, Jaden Seals and Anderson Phillip were the two best fast bowlers on the show this year.
From last season.
Yeah. Look what's happening here. That's where we at. Yeah. Anderson, I was looking at him for the last 3 overs he bowled. He got hit for a 6. He gave as you said, a boundary ball every single over.
Yep. Every single over.
Every single over. Right? They gave him a chance to come back right after the break. And he didn't bowl well. I mean, and I like the fellow. I see something in the fellow, but
there's talent there. There's talent there.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if his confidence got shattered. I don't know. But listen to me. If the coach is not playing me and I get a chance to play, they gotta pull me out from there.
Here's what I'm disappointed about with Phillip, right?
Yeah.
You've had the opportunity to go across to England and play in county cricket and gain great experience, right? And for you to come back and it seems like the coaching staff doesn't trust you.
Yeah.
Something is wrong there, right? Something is wrong. And we've all been calling for him to play instead of Johan Lane. I think Johan Lane has a lot of growing to do and shouldn't have been in the West Indies team, right? Good young fast bowler, but Test cricket is not where he needs to be at right now. He needs to be in a learning environment, and trying to learn at the highest level is one of the toughest things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Two things happen. You either come out on top or you break. And many West Indian players have been broken because they're trying to learn on the job.
Yeah, you can't learn at that level. You can't learn at that level.
This is not a place to be learning how to play cricket. There have been quite a few West Indian coaches who have said, when the players have came to the test team, to the international side, they have to teach them the basics. Stuart Law said it. Phil Simmons said it. I shouldn't have to teach you the basics or some of the basics at the international level. I think Bennett King was one that said it to this other guy, this other Australian guy. I think was it John Dyson?
Mm.
John Dyson said it too. You have to teach the players, the West Indian players, the basics. So when I continue to say one of our biggest problems is coaching, especially at the age group levels, and it seems like people can't understand what I'm really saying. It is simple. You learn the basics at the age group level, on the 11, on the 13, on the 15. These are the groups, the age groups where you learn the basics. You hammer it home every single day, repetitive. You hammer it home. It's like you're knocking in your butt. You understand? You got the hammer and you're knocking in your butt.
Mm. I created a stat here. I want to look at something and we talk about, because we got to
These New Zealand players don't look bothered in the least.
No, from the start they didn't look. From when I started watching, they didn't look bothered to me. It seemed like it.
They don't look bothered in the least. It's a nice, cool day in New Zealand, and it seems like if they're having a nice stroll,
Uh-huh.
you know, a nice knock. That's what it seems like. It's a nice knock. Vanty Williams, we do have a coaching problem in the West Indies. We do have a coaching problem. And that's why it irritates me when people throw all the blame at Darren Sammy. Darren Sammy is not your problem. You understand me? The same problem that Darren Sammy is having is the same problem that Phil Simmons had. It's the same problem that Stuart Law had. It's the same problem that Otis Gibson had. It's the same problem that John Dyson had. It's the same problem that Bennett King had. It's the same problem that Rohan Kanai had. You understand?
Kevin, Vanti, when we played cricket, I was on the 15 and on the 17 players. At the club level, back in the 90s, and the high school level, it was Kevin that used to pick our teams as our captain. And in hindsight, when with maturity and understanding the great game, That should have never happened. That should not have been. I could understand that if the coach given him input and he could have a conversation, okay, young man, you're mature, you understand the game. Who do you think are some of the players? There should have been that. But at that level, we didn't have any proper coaches. We didn't have any coaches. We had, Sean Wild used to help. But we didn't have any coach. I remember, and you see, this rotation strike thing, us not rotating, it's simple why we don't. It's how we practice. Kevin, remember how we practice? How do we practice? It's changed to some extent. A bowler?
Listen, I remember us going to practice. You have all the bowlers, you have a bunch of people in the field, and you have the batsmen off to the side, padded up. And it's just the bowlers running in, the spinners turning their hand over. But no one is stopping. And there's first of all, there's no structure to the session, right? There's absolutely no structure to the session. Now, you as a 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, you don't know any better. It's not your place to know that.
Yeah, and then we see we never seen anything different.
Exactly. If you had some amount of talent like I had and Jerry and all these people, because how you learned the game was what you watched and you saw, right? I used to love the way Desmond Haynes batted, and I tried to pattern myself off of Desmond Haynes, right? So, but there was no structure. It was just a bunch of bowlers running in and bowl. No one had any real coaching experience. So when you came up against teams like Albion that produced the likes of Narsingh, Deon Ryan, and all these guys that ended up playing for West Indies, we struggled because these young men were well schooled, well rounded. You understand? They were properly coached.
Properly been in uplifted comments. They've been around a better structure.
Yes, they were around a better structure.
Better structure. Not properly coached, better structure. Right? And I agree with that. I think that the team that was properly coached in that time was Rose Hall.
Hold on. No filter bar. I tried to bat like Courtney Walsh when I used to play club cricket.
Courtney, you're funny. Yeah. But the thing about it in terms of seriously how we used to, and it's true at the Caribbean. A man can go in and he can bat, he can block, he hit a 4, block. There's no working on particular skills or a batsman going in. There's no nets. And when I remember when Jerry tried to get nets, people would push back. This is how we do it all. We do it all the time. I'm like, Jesus guys, I was like, and when we went to University of Guyana, I said, imagine I'm at University of Guyana and there's no proper sporting facilities at the major institution in the country. Right? And when you come up against teams like Barbados and them kind of thing, I mean, they didn't beat us about there because we always, Guyana was known for tenacity. But they were way better in terms of how they approach the game because when it went to Barbados and you see, and our friends took the school team to the Garfield Sobers tournament, you see the difference in the coaching and our friends that teach in Barbados, and there's a better structure. That's what I said. I think the best structure in the Caribbean is Barbados, and then Trinidad. Jamaica had a good structure back in the day. Because they still play decent. They still have an organized school cricket. I've seen it was televised, but I don't know. So at the end of the day, there's so much that we need to do, and it seems like people don't understand that. People blaming Darren Sammy, and the issue is not Darren Sammy. The issue starts in our individual territories with our government, with the different boards, and the people.
So good.
People
and
don't
so
understand that. If you were to remove Darren Sammy right now, nothing would change. You understand me? Nothing would change.
how much people they don't move already?
Exactly. If you were to remove Darren Sammy, nothing would change, folks. And I would die on a hill with that. Until we fix our game at the lowest levels, until we fix our game at the lowest levels, nothing will change. Nothing will change. This is what it'll continue to be.
I hope the fact that I hope they went and they coming out back on my end. I know. I hope that they had a discussion with and we come out and see something different.
One of those again. 138 without loss.
138 without loss. I hope.
The thing about Phillips, he bowls some wicket taking the difference.
Yes, but you know, there are days, but that when it's going to be, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to get wickets with your good balls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Batsmen are gonna stick it out. And you got to be prepared to keep hitting that length and keep plugging away. Not going looking for something, not going searching for anything. If you bowl a ball and you just beat the man on the length, why are you coming off of the length? What are you searching for? Why are you coming off of that length? Why are you coming off of that line? Work in that general area. Work in that same general area.
I'm going to ask you two questions.
Hmm.
Who is the number one? Who got the most test wickets for West Indies? One. And who is West Indies' best fast bowling test cricket?
Courtney Walsh is the leading wicket taker.
Yeah, and who's the best fast bowler ever?
The best fast bowler ever, I would say Malcolm Marshall.
Good. Perfect. This is the answer I want. What those two fellas got in common?
They plugged away on a line. They plugged away on a length. They plugged away.
They kept it simple. I remember Courtney Ambrose saying he's in bowling with bowling with Malcolm. Ball swinging around over to England, swinging. Says he asked him, "Hey, how are you going to get him out?" And I said, "How you think I'll get him out? Because the ball swinging when he's playing and miss." He said, "You know, probably get an edge man. No, I'll get him LBW."
Yeah.
Thinking because he can give you the straighter one.
Yeah.
You can look in fit and you can hit your pad because you're kind of like in no man's land. And that's what my point is even I think even on the 13 level, we need to sit and discuss the game with the youngsters. Sometimes it's not about practice only, it's about watching a game situation. Look at a tape or look at examples. We get so many different resources on YouTube. We don't have to get we could. And the problem is that our coaches are not paid to play, to coach. There's not a full-time job.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there, right?
At the lower levels.
At the lower level, too many times we're adding a transaction to it. You understand? At the lower levels, if you do it because you genuinely want better, eventually the money will come. You understand me? Because you're going to produce better players. At the lower levels, listen, I just coach my son football. You understand?
Yeah.
And I just coach his team football. I just coach people's kids. You know, I don't ask them for a dime. You understand me? Because I want to see them become better players. At the lowest levels, it's not about money. If you want to make money, you got to go coach at the higher levels. You understand? But if you want true satisfaction of watching a player grow, you got to do it at the lower levels. There's no real growth at the highest levels. That's just results of what took place at the lower levels. You understand? So I wouldn't be looking. If I were people, I would tell them, if you love this game, you got to coach at the lower levels. You understand me? And you can't look for money.
The great Carl Moore.
Now, Mr. Moore is a great example. You understand? A man of service. You have to be willing to be of service. Each and every one of us that were put on this earth here, we weren't put on this earth to see how much money we can really make. It was to be of service.
I guess that's why I said we have, as a Caribbean people, we have lost our identity and we have become too much influence from the global north in the negative ways. And my favorite book coming up was Spratt Morris. I don't know if anybody ever reads Spratt Morris. And No Filter Boss, I can answer your question just now. But why I like Spratt Morris, it was set in Trinidad and it just talked about how it spoke to how much about the community.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we have lost that. No Filter Boss, Holden would tell you that Malcolm was the best bowler. Holden would tell you that Malcolm was a genius when he didn't, and he wasn't as tall, but he was still rapid. And he could have, but I think, like, really and truly, in terms of after Malcolm Marshall, after Sir Gary Sobers, Malcolm Marshall actually had the potential to be the next best all-rounder for West Indies, who played a prolonged period of time. Because he could have actually batted. If he played in this era, he probably would have batted in 6.
Somebody said, Bylan says we need to change the fitness of our players. Bylan's, I don't think the issue right now is fitness. This set of players have came up in a era where fitness is the thing. You understand? Now there are some players who leaves a lot to be desired where their fitness is concerned, their overall fitness is concerned, their appearance is concerned, right? But the players that are currently on the field are some pretty fit players. I can tell you that, right? The players that are currently in New Zealand are some pretty fit players. I have to take into consideration we as a people, we are naturally fit. You understand? We are naturally athletic. We are naturally fit. No Filter Boss, please don't put Odean Smith and Malcolm Marshall in the same sentence.
I tell you, I could see it. I could see it. I could see it, buddy.
The closest thing to Malcolm Marshall is Kemar Roach. But please don't put Odean Smith and Malcolm Marshall in the same sentence ever again.
I see what you said. Yeah.
If you want a glimpse or a little bit of a memory of Malcolm Marshall, you got to look at Kemar Roach.
You see, there's no way that Chase should be bowling this time.
No, because Jaden Seals and somebody else should have been bowling, right? But he's forced to bowl because Anderson Phillip can't hold the end. Justin Graves is not penetrative enough. This is a pitch that requires line and length bowling. It doesn't require you to go searching for anything. It's a pitch that requires line and length. Yes, it looks nice and green, but as the day go on and as the wind blow, it's smoothing out. It's leveling out. So it requires you to be patient and diligent. Apologies accepted, Madame. Somebody said, why Marshall over Holden? Was it no filter, boss?
Yeah, no filter, yeah.
In terms of skill, Malcolm Marshall. Now, if he was looking for a battering ram, it was Michael Holden.
Yeah,
Michael Holden was going to, while Malcolm Marshall could knock your head off your body, Holden could do the 6 balls out the over. You understand?
Here comes the doctor. You ready for the road?
Gentlemen, good night. Viewers, fans, subscribers, good night. Apologies for being late.
It's up, Sammy.
Today is one of the most busiest days, fellas, in terms of activities, including Jimmy Cliff's celebration of life going on right now. Anyway, I'm here.
Big up the great man.
Yeah, man. Sorry, what? You were saying something?
Hey. I keep him alive for the season. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, willing. No, on a lighter note, Sammy, I was as soon as I see and I sing some soca, they got some nice hits this year.
I was gonna tell you, say you gotta sing Force or Run. Anyway.
Hey, hold on there. YXLTOSA. I know how to pronounce that. Yes, we have senior 19 squad.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Talk about it in a little bit. So yeah.
And we gotta get Kevin's Sammy's view on the Carl Hooper.
Yes, and we have to get Sammy's view on Carl Hooper's comments concerning the lack, or I should say, Carl said we were playing enough cricket.
And the guys whose name should not be mentioned.
No, be careful, Kevin. His comment was essentially that the problem is not the amount of cricket. The problem is the quality. So in his view, even if we play more first-class games, he doesn't see it making a difference. But we can get into that later on.
Good night, Alistair. I just say accident, somebody gonna out themselves, don't I?
Alistair Henry?
Yeah, there's Alistair, where you from, big man?
Alistair Henry, where you from, by? Is this the Alistair that I know? Now you see Justin Graves right outside off stump, right top of off. That's where you need to stay for the longest while. You understand?
Fellas, I have to apologize to No Filter Boss. No Filter Boss, my apologies. It's just a lot going on at my end, you know. So some things I can't control in terms of meetings. So
hey, No Filter. This man is a very important man. I gotta understand.
What boy, relax. I'm just an ordinary servant. As you see Kevin talking about service earlier tonight. It was because of service that I'm late at this point. Service to my Kiwanis club.
So go ahead, Walter.
I like the under 19 squad. We could talk about it.
Let's get into the under 19 squad, since there's a few people asking if we've seen the under 19 squad. And Walter, is it possible for you to pull it up and do a share screen?
Yeah, don't do that already, man.
So we're gonna do a share screen, people, so we all can see the players. We can talk about them. You know, give our give our thoughts on them. Yeah, Mr. Casanova, it looks like they're going to pile up about 600 plus.
Yeah, I seen it.
Give us a thumbs up if you can see the squad.
Slipping, leg slipping as well. Partnership is up.
So I'm gonna 150 run partnership. Jesus Christ. So I want to talk about a few players here. Joshua Dorn, Joel Andrew, Michael McKenzie, Jonathan Van Lang, Jakeem Pollard, and Vital Laws.
Could probably zoom in, Walter.
Yeah, Walter, is it possible for you to zoom in a bit?
Let me see. Let me see. Give me a second. Y'all seen it? Too far?
If
better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good there. It's just the squad we want to see, and then
it's just the squad we want to see there.
Yeah, get to the other. Yeah, a little bit up. So, right, you're good there now. Good. Thanks.
This squad, I think, is significantly better than the one at the last edition of the World Cup that was played in early 2024. I really think this squad is a squad that can go deep if they play to potential, right? If they play to potential, they can go deep. What I like about this squad is the addition of Joel Andrew. And I think he is, instead of people calling for him to be playing for the senior West Indies team, this is where he needs to be. Talented young man, but this is where he needs to be right now. His place right now is to be at this level. This is where I think, Joel Andrew needs to be. And here he can finish up his under-19 career with a flourish. And possibly lead West Indies deep in the tournament. I think they have what it takes to go deep. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Well, I know we got Jakeem Pollard, the two spinners, and I like Aiden Rocha. Those four bowlers, I know that they're wicket-taking bowlers. And Jonathan Van Lang a knack for taking wickets. As I tell y'all, Vanton reminds me of a Freddie Flintoff. a chubby Freddie Flintoff. You gotta lose some weight. You gotta lose some weight. I think he got potential too. He's a naturally strong fellow. His sister used to swim for Ghana. When I saw the video today, and I saw the mother she used to swim for North Georgetown when I used to teach in.
Yeah, her name I think is Rebecca.
No, Brittany.
Brittany, yes.
She used to because North Georgetown, the district, not the school. When I used to run the district.
Hold on, Walter. Sherwin, we gonna come to the left hand pace though. Don't worry, we're gonna come to the left hand pace. We're talking about a few people right now. Joshua Dorn, I think, could possibly be the most important player in this squad right now. Not because he's the captain, but because of what he can do with the bat.
Yeah.
I think Joshua Dorn is probably the most important player.
I asked you this question on when we looked at the under-19. I don't think a lot of people watch it. Ask this now. Ask you this again. And I want you guys who listening. Is Joshua Dorn at this stage, compared to Hetty Meyer and the guy that retired? I ain't calling his name.
Come on, Walter. Come on, Walter. Call him, man.
I'm being petty. Please,
Nicky P, man. Nicky P.
well, you could do it. I am being petty at this particular point in time. Yes. Is Joshua Down is as good, or is he better, or is he not as good as them at this? What y'all think? Comments. What y'all think in the comments?
I think I made a comparison just now between Malcolm Marshall and Michael Holden, right?
Mm.
And I'm going to make the same comparison here. But I think the better batsman is Joshua Dorn. The more rounded batsman is Joshua Dorn, right? I think he bats with sense.
That's what I want. There's the difference for me.
He bats with sense. He applies himself. Now, if you want somebody to come and hit the ball all over the park, Nicholas Pooran can do that. He did that when he played at the under-19 level, right? He did that when he played at the under-19 level. I think one of the games he scored 140 odd. But Joshua Dorn is somebody, if there's a crisis, he understands how to, based on what I've seen in the last two series that they played against Sri Lanka and England. Team is in crisis. The ship needs steering. Dorn understand. It seems like he always understands what is required in the moment. If the run rate, if the scoring rate needs to be up a bit, he has gears that he can move through. You understand? And I like that about him. There's no one gear about him. If it requires him to stick around for a bit, stabilize, he does that. And that is what impresses me out of that young man.
There's a question in the chat from Casanova about Joel Andrew and whether he would qualify to play on the 19 next year, as he just turned 19. I'm gonna use that question to bring to the table a discussion which was had last evening on Mason and Guest. It was said that Guyana fielded players who are overage, on the 13 tournament. Basil Butcher Jr. pushed back against that view. And he said, look, once a player, so for example, to answer Casanova and to make the point Basil Butcher Jr. was making last night. Joel Andrew turned 19 about 10 days ago. All right. So he will qualify to play on the 19 next year, as far as I understand it, because once your birthday, right? Let's say your 19th birthday falls before the 31st of August.
That's the cutoff.
You're fine. Yeah, that's the cutoff there.
No, once it falls after the 31st. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I'm mixed up that. Yeah. Right. So based on that, he'll be fine. Is my understanding.
Yes.
So okay. All right. So if he turns 20, right? Before August 31st, then that would be a problem, is my understanding. Does that make sense?
2026.
So for 2026, correct.
So
Carl Hooper was making the point that, okay, you have some people who would have played in the current tournament who are 14, right? But they were 13 at August 31st of this year. So they still qualify to play in the under 13 tournament. That is his view of it, right?
But
it appears, however, that Barbados, there's a different way this thing is viewed in terms of the age thing.
Here's what have a problem with, Sam. Here's what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
This is a bilateral agreement between Guyana and Barbados, right? It's not a tournament per se.
Yeah.
Developmental tournament, right? It's a developmental series of matches between two countries, which I think first and foremost, let me mention this. It's a great idea.
We need a lot more of those.
Right? I think it's a great idea. I don't think it should also, I also think it should be extended to a 2-day form, give these players a chance to try to bat for long periods. You understand?
Yeah.
But I think the Barbadians came with genuine under 13 players.
Yeah, you can see the size. You could see them. You could see the
Correct.
small.
Yes. Yeah.
Lomar Sicharan and company played for Guyana in the under 15 tournament early this year. I don't think they should have been playing. If you're blooded under 13 players, blood under 13 players. Development is not supposed to look pretty. And I think
you got win. This is the problem. They want to win.
You understand? This is not about winning. Too many times we confuse development with winning. At this age, it's not about winning. It's about young men learning how to play the game.
Right.
Learning
Well,
how... Go ahead, Sam.
Sorry. Yeah. So subsequent, I couldn't listen to the entire program because again, had another meeting last night. But in any case, though, a caller into the program noted that while Basil Butcher Jr. was generally correct in terms of that August 31st cutoff point, which is in keeping with the school year essentially, right? Yeah. So September 1 is a new school year, and that's how they do it for teenagers and so on, right? So while that is true, apparently the agreement for the tournament had a different criteria.
Okay.
But I see where you're coming, Kevin. Right. But I see where you're coming, Kevin, in that is, genuinely, because again, we have players who would want to get a chance to show what they can do and not to compete with fellas who are already established and are playing under 15 as you mentioned. So I see your point,
Anyways, back to the topic of this on the 19 team. I didn't realize that Vital Lars was from Jamaica.
Yeah, you're from Jamaica. You're from St. Diego.
That's a bowler, right?
Yes, the left arm Chinaman spinner, the guy that destroyed England. I mean, he ripped them to shreds. Yeah, didn't have a clue.
With him and Michael McKenzie, I think that if they both have potential, we could go far with just the two of them alone.
I'm glad you all mentioned Jamaica and spin, because you know where I'm going next, right? We're looking at the players. Here's a question I have, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this, but I'm just wondering if this would be a useful thing going forward, right? We have two Jamaican coaches there, right? One of them is Nikita Miller on the staff. Nikita Miller and Jerome Taylor. What? So when you talk about spinners, I don't know anything about that spinner in terms of who he works with, but I won't be surprised if Nikita is having a firm hand in his development. Won't be surprised. And that's something we should applaud. So is it the case that we're seeing the makings 5-10 years down the line of a Nikita Miller, a Jerome Taylor, pace and spin, working with our players?
The more I'll say this much, right? The more exposed our young coaches are, the better off we will be 10-15 years down the line, right?
Talk about the KVSC where somebody say Perma just got a level 3 coaching.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I saw Shane Dowrich was part of the preparation for these guys heading over to New Zealand, because he's there's some pathways coaching something they got going on, and he is taking up coaching.
By the way, he should have been still playing.
Yeah, Shane Dowrich should have still been playing. He probably should have still been the West Indies wicketkeeper. because he was a good enough batsman, right?
He was above good. He better than most people. He was like
Shane, I'll tell you this much. Shane Dowrish could have slotted into the West Indies middle order without the gloves, with his eyes closed. He could have slotted into the West Indies middle order. He was that good of in the context of West Indies cricket.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, people ask about Aiden Racha.
Aiden Racha.
He's a left-arm fast bowler.
No, he's a right-arm fast bowler.
Aiden's not a left-arm man?
No, the left-arm fast bowler is Jakeem Pollard from Barbados. Jakeem Pollard from Barbados, tall. Aiden Racha is the right-arm medium pacer from Trinidad. That I think it was in the last match. He broke the back of the English top order.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was left-handed.
No, he's not left-handed. The left-arm pacer is Jakeem Pollard. Hold on, Walter. Hold on. So Vanty Williams is asking if we can call out the under-19 players and their territories. I'll give it a shot. Right. The captain is Joshua Dorn. He's from Barbados. Joel Andrew from Antigua. Shamar Apple from Guyana. Shaquan Bell from Barbados. Zachary Carter from Barbados. Tanes Francis from Antigua. RJ Gittins, I can't remember exactly where RJ is from. Vital Laws is from Jamaica. Michael McKenzie from Antigua. Matthew Miller from Antigua. Morton, I can't remember which one, if he's from Antigua or he's from St. Kitts and Nevis. Jakeem Pollard is from Barbados. Aiden Racha is from Trinidad. Kunal Tilokani is from St. Kitts and Nevis. And Jonathan Van Lang is from Guyana.
Introducing.
Would we get a strike if we show West Indies YouTube video and for education purposes?
I wouldn't risk it.
Okay. Next thing we get a strike.
So Gittins is from Barbados, apparently.
Oh, he's from Barbados? Okay.
That's what I see. Yeah, because when I go to Cricinfo doesn't even have his country up there, you know.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's from Barbados.
Anybody who wants to know, go to West Indies Cricket YouTube channel. There's a lovely video with their family and where they're from and everything. Family introducing them.
I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, that's good. Then whoever did that, kudos. Because West Indies cricket West Indies all the time. That was a good one. That was a good one. Very good. I like that.
No filter, boss. Devon Smith was a first-class bully.
I'll put it on this, guys.
Devon Smith was a first-class bully.
You know, gentlemen, before I came on, the issue of fitness came up, and I know it was discussed within the context of the present team, you know. But like I said some months ago, when we think of Brian Lara, can't help but go back to Brian Lara. And you look at different aspects of Brian Lara's life, it's like all the stars align, including what he consumed in terms of food. You see? I don't think we appreciate enough of how bad things are now. And it means that we've got to work harder, you see, to ensure our athletes are getting the right nutrition. You know, I ain't gonna call names, but I look at the under-19 team. I know one name people call in, but look at the team and question marks there, you see? And we might look at some other players and, oh, they look fine, but are they fine? Are they getting the right nutrition? And I'm saying this without full knowledge of individual circumstances, but I'm just saying, in our region, Walter always talk about how much we get from the global north. One of the things, our boy Ralph Gonzalez always talk about the Caribbean civilization. That's one of his things, right? And regardless of what you think about him, it's an important thing to consider. What we have given to the world, Walter spoke the other night about what we did for the IPL. You know,
Kerry Parker.
right? You can talk about reggae music. God rest the soul of Jimmy Cliff. But our food, when Usain Bolt was tearing up the tracks a decade ago, well, over a decade ago, sorry. What were some of the questions we were? What does he eat? And everybody around the world, what does he eat? Right?
Organic.
So,
That's what it was.
When we talk cricket West Indies, we have Mr. Hurdle to deal with psychosocial issues and what have you. But this thing about nutrition, maybe we need to bring in a Rasta man for sort out some proper nutrition. hire a Rasta man for deal with that. Anyway,
we're saying something that money for chat about Bubble Hill.
Run up Bubble Hill a couple times and yeah, man. You know, Marshall Montano got a song called High Life, Double Entendre. Yeah, man. Oh boy.
Vanti Williams is asking, so what made Brian Lara transition so successfully to Test cricket and present cricketers can't? He was a batting prodigy, but he did additional work outside of the cricket field. Walter, you're muted.
He answered, Vanti answered the question. Also, okay, well, Sammy, if you look at Virat Kohli on the 19th, Google's Virat Kohli on the 19th, pick picture, and you see now he made a transition because he was a little chubby boy. And then I look at the documentary on Netflix, he made a whole change in his diet and everything and exercise routine. So these guys are still young. A lot of them. That's what I'm saying. I'm not kidding when I say for Jonathan Van Lang, I see aspects of Freddie Flintoff in him, and he can get there. Because Freddie was rapid. You know, people forget that.
Freddie was a genuine fast bowler. You understand? He was a genuine fast bowler. I don't think Jonathan Van Lang will ever get to that stage.
He's strong though.
He's strong. He can hit the ball, but I understand fast bowling is about ability. If it wasn't about, anybody could run and bowl fast.
Yeah, true.
Not anybody could run and bowl fast. You understand me? Jonathan Van Lang, if he keeps playing the game, if he doesn't get sidetracked by table tennis and other things. By the way, that's one of the reasons why he's a very good batsman, because of his exploits in table tennis. You understand? But if he takes care of himself, takes care of his game, improves his batting, improves his bowling,
You can be the next T20. Hey, you can be the next big T20 star for West Indies.
Listen, let me knock on wood, fire upon you on what you're saying right now.
You see, our problem is that it's not realistic.
No, I realize.
Guys don't want to play Test cricket no more.
I understand though. I get it. You understand me? I get it. Listen, the global dynamics of cricket right now dictate that players will gravitate towards T20 cricket. You understand? It's an easy way to make a lot of money. It's a very easy way to make a lot of money. But when I look at Jonathan Van Lang and I watch him bat, I watch how he bat, especially when he was batting with Joshua Dorn. I think the two of them, there's a
chemistry
level of understanding, and I think the word I'm looking for is synergy between the two of them. Right? Whenever the two of them are at the crease, they both make a lot of runs. Jonathan Van Lang is another player who understands how to bat, at least at this level, right? He knows when to turn it on. He knows when to turn it off. And while he does a lot of big hitting, he's very calculating. He doesn't slug, and that's something that I love about him. He hits the ball cleanly. He doesn't slug. it's not like like this morning and I'm going to segue to this because I was at work this morning and peeping the ILT20 match between I think it's Dubai Emirates and Dubai Capitals or whatever the hell their name. And if there wasn't match fixing in that game, I don't know what is. One team dropped 7 catches. And not just 7 catches because it was difficult. At least 3 of the catches went into hand, player went down with the ball secured, and all of a sudden, somehow, miraculously, his hands open up and the ball rolls out on the ground. Pollard hits the ball to a man at square cover. Man catches ball, shells the catch. There's nobody can tell me there wasn't some amount of match fixing going on today. Nobody can tell me different. You'll be hard pressed to tell me different.
So
anyways,
it was Vanty Williams who asked about Lara.
Yes, Vanty Williams asked about it.
I'll lend this book to a friend, but I still have the dust jacket. I recommend Vanty Williams and everybody read this book. Lara, the England Chronicles. I'm waiting for the next book because the way this is written is like, other books are to come.
Yeah.
You see? So once you read it, what you will realize, like I've said time and time again, Brian Lara's journey, in my non-export opinion, is the perfect trajectory for a batter. Everything aligned, even down to Brian Lara spending time at Joey Caru's house. And that's important because the likes of Clive Lloyd would pass through that house. He was exposed to cricket literature. He went to Fatima, the finishing school of sorts. And he didn't only play cricket, he played tennis and could have made it Trinidad, or did he make Trinidad on the 15 or on the 19 team or something? Because him and Dwight York were very close and still are very close.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
He was a good footballer.
Anyway, good book to read. And of course, the height would have helped there. Lower center of gravity. Kevin?
Yeah. Vanty Williams, I'll add to Sammy's, what Sammy said. Brian Lara came up in the era where you had people like Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner. There's a story about him coming up against Marshall and Garner and company. I think it was at Kensington Oval. Lara was about 17 or 18 or whatever the case it might be. And if I'm not mistaken, in that match, he scored 90. And they were pleasantly surprised by his ability. And they gave him everything they got. They didn't hold back. They didn't look at him as this little boy. If you're good enough, you're old enough. You understand? And they gave him it. But what I'm saying is, Brian Lara came up in an era where the schooling was good at the first class level. You understand?
Especially when you play Barbados.
Yeah. The schooling was good.
Yeah.
You add to the fact that Brian Lara went on many West Indian tours. Pakistan, England, Australia, all over the place. And he was able to be in the dressing room and soak up the knowledge. You understand? He was able to soak up all that knowledge. He was able to be around or be in an environment where excellence was the name of the day. Because, you think about it. You're in the net side, you're coming up against Marshall, Ian Bishop, Walsh, Ambrose. Goodness gracious. That's every day. You understand me? You coming up against men that cricketers around the world fear. And you handling those men. So yeah. Those are some of the reasons why Brian Lara was able to transition. Today's players, you're playing first class cricket and You're coming up against bowlers that are bowling all over the place. You know, or batsmen are struggling. They're gonna make 100, and then they go play Test cricket, and someone challenges them outside off stump for 5-6 balls, and they've never been challenged like that. Their technique are being challenged regularly, so they can't survive. One of my coaches, old coaches, said to me, and this is in football, he said, how you know a good footballer is when you are able to be tested, right? When you are able to be tested and you figure out ways to pass those tests. That's how you know you're a good footballer. When you get shut down and you figure out a way to maneuver your way out of tight situations, you always have an answer for the tight situations. So when you go play Test cricket, Jesus Christ, this man done score 100 already. Oh boy. Sammy, let's not forget how Brian Lara used to train in the small areas, right? Let's not forget how Brian used to train.
He played against the plant pots.
Yeah, he played against the plant pots.
Oh, boy. But you know, the other thing too with Brian Lara and our friends Jesse and Sean, when you look at what they do with their kids, and of course you Kevin, and I know Walter shaping up, we cannot ignore.
Why might play hockey?
Hockey?
Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter. Anyway, yeah, so his father had a great influence on him. Father and the people in the village too. But just in that home circle, it was what, 11 of them, if I remember clearly. So I'm sure he grew up and was influenced greatly by his siblings. And siblings ain't gonna give you
let me tell you something.
No blind, right? You gotta work for everything.
House with enough brother and sister, it's competitive. You understand me? You're competing for everything. You're competing for space, food, love, everything. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, like I said, fellas, all the stars. I can't think of one area where we could say, well, Lara didn't have X or Y. You could look at Chandapal and say, well, okay, he didn't have these things. Or Shamar Joseph didn't have these things. Lara, everything worked for him. Including playing with the greats.
No Filter Boss asked a question: who the top 3 cricketers of all time? No Filter Boss, I'm very biased with my answers.
But why not separate batters and bowlers? I mean,
yeah, it's very interesting. But for me, it is for the 3 best, as you said, I'll go with Sammy said. The 3 best batsmen is the obvious 3. Garfield Sobers, Brian Lara, and Viv. Top 3. For bowlers, for West Indies, I get bias as an off spinner. So go with Lance Gibbs. But always Malcolm Marshall and Courtney Ambrose. With a close 4th to Big Bird. And a close 5th to Michael Holden. Some of the older folks would say that Andy Roberts was up there. I didn't see a lot of tapes with Andy, so I don't know. It's just stories.
the older folks would speak highly of Andy Roberts, and rightly so. Andy Roberts was a great fast bowler, one of the greatest fast bowlers that in any team. You understand me?
Any era.
Any era.
Yeah.
You understand? When you hear how other players that played with Sir Andy Roberts in that era, when you hear of how they talked about him and his ability, the man was revered. You understand me? So, yeah.
Let's top three for West Indies. For the world, I can always be biased. They're gonna always be for West Indies in the world. I'll be biased, but I mean, for the world, it's kind of hard. For me, the world, the top three fast bowlers in history for me is being real right now is Malcolm Marshall, number one, Wasim Akram, number two, and Courtney Ambrose, number three. Close fourth to bloodbath, Glenn McGrath. That's for me. And it's a very close 1 and 2 between Wasim Akram and
Courtney.
and no, Wasim Akram and
Marshall.
Malcolm Marshall. People don't realize how good that fellow was.
Let me tell you,
Wasim Akram fellow.
if you wanted somebody who to change a game, give the ball to Wasim Akram. You understand me? Give the ball to Wasim Akram.
Yeah, the ball on a string like a spinner, bro.
Wasim Akram could do things with a cricket ball that nobody else can do. I've seen Wasim Akram bend the ball around like you're bending it around a corner, and you sitting there and you like, how? Listen. People talk about ball tampering. I ain't care about none of them stuff. It still takes great ability. You understand? To do the things that Akram did with that ball. There's not many bowlers who could bowl a Yorker in swinging Yorker at will. Like would still stand there and go, I'm going to bowl a Yorker next 4 or 5 balls, and he'll do it.
Yeah, good one, Vanti. Shane can't argue though.
Warren. Ball of the century.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to disagree with Shane Warne being one of the greatest cricketers of all time.
Yeah, can't argue.
Gentlemen, personally, I don't like getting these convos.
I same.
Yeah. I mean, it's very.
But yeah,
It's
it's about the process. It's about the process, not who you call.
Yeah, I like to tell people, let's talk eras. Don't talk of all time. You understand? Because the game changes so much across eras. Let's talk era. You know, Sir Garfield Sobers would have been, to me, the greatest cricketer of his time. And some people still think Sir Garfield Sobers is the greatest cricketer of all time. Right? I personally wouldn't argue it.
I've had people that seen all three of them, but people go with Viv over all three of them.
And we got an old timer here, Steve Anderson, that one of our regular contributors that comes in and says, you cannot ignore the batting exploits of the great George Headley.
Yeah,
I will never.
You can't do them.
Or you can't. And Steve, that's why I often say, when these conversations come up, I like to leave it at in the era when these players played.
Yeah, because like the Australians would say that, what's his name? Why are we? Sometimes I forget shit.
Don Bradman.
Donald Bradman is the greatest batsman. Era, right? Who he played against.
Yeah.
I mean, these fellas played on covered pitches, and people growing up we played on sticky dogs, so and but a sticky dog guys in Guyana is uncovered pitches. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Bradman definitely do. Mr. Casanova is in the top three. We can't argue against that. Can't argue, and
I tend to stay away from the conversation, you
yeah,
know,
it's very, very, as I say, it's
because
basically subjective.
yeah, it is, you know, because one could easily look and say, had Michael Holden played the same amount of test matches as Courtney Ambrose did, he probably would have gotten 1,000 test wickets. You understand?
Yeah.
Not Courtney Ambrose, sorry, Courtney Walsh, right?
Yeah. We can't argue. You got
The
a whole
man
lot of
played what, 60 test matches and had over 200 odd test wickets. You know, who knows? Our next 40 test matches, he could have easily racked up 400 odd, right?
easily, or not, or not, because sometimes you just never know, right? So we just never know.
And
We
when
could
Michael
we
when
don't know
Michael
what's going on with
when
his
Michael
body.
Holden retired, he still had a lot more in the tank.
Mhm. Remember though, I'll give you guys some hope. Remember, one Adrian Griffith and one Sherwin Campbell had a 200 and something run partnership in New Zealand, and we end up losing that test match. So
There's Walter. Oh my goodness. I remember watching that test match. I remember watching that test match. I remember it like yesterday. Sherwin Campbell and at that time, New Zealand didn't have a bowling attack like what they have now. You understand me? So that would tell you how far our cricket has fallen, right? New Zealand had just a regular bowling attack. I think the most dangerous bowler they had in that time was Dan Vettori. You know, they had medium paces like Chris Corns and those guys, you know, but nothing that would put fear in you. I think the bowling lineup that they got right now is much quicker. You know, not much, markedly quicker.
We're gonna look at the test series, the test match.
Oh, so what's the verdict for this match? What are the predictions for this match?
I can't say nothing yet.
So ask it.
I think I'll say what I'm thinking. Right, New Zealand is batting to bat once. They have zero intention of batting a second time. Yeah. So West Indies are going to have to bat out of their skins. They'll probably look to, based on the run rate that they're going at right now, they probably look to put up about 600 runs between today and maybe before or just after lunch tomorrow. They're on pace, 185 right now, without loss. They could very well end the day close to 400 or over 400 runs.
Yeah.
You understand? West Indies could very well be chasing 600 by the time with about half an hour to go to lunch tomorrow.
We are ready for me, based on the bowling attack, and we are already out of this match already. The truth is, we are out of this match already.
Yeah, it's been a poor bowling display. It's been a very poor bowling display.
I ain't wasting my sleep.
Well, once we get to tea, you know, we're gonna wrap it up at tea. Like I said, in the episode 2 nights ago, we're going from lunch to tea, or just after lunch. We've taken the after lunch session, and I'm going to bed. I hope that I wake up tomorrow morning. I would see about 5 wickets. Listen, stranger things have happened, right?
It's just no, hey, Stranger Things on Netflix.
Was that a show or something?
Yeah. It just the last season just come out. The match that we spoke about, West Indies made the first wicket made 270 was 276. Adrian Griffith 114, Sir Campbell 170, and we got bowled out to 375. And it wasn't this was a no bowling attack. Chris Keynes and Dion Nash and
Yeah.
Daniel Vittori and come on, man. In this match we had Courtney Walsh, Franklin Rose, Ryan King, Ricardo Powell. Had arguably the best leg spinner that played for West Indies. That should have played longer, but when you get motor, you like talk to tell people you feel like in West Indies. Yeah, Diana Ryan. People don't realize how good his stats were. He played 12 matches.
He deserved to play more than 12 test matches.
Yeah. The man was very good. He was better than a good Sammy, in my opinion. But you see the thing about, I tell you, for years, West Indies cricket got too much of stupid men that is run the cricket. Charlie Griffith and them man could tell you them kind of thing. And people talking up on them man done Banner's career.
What do you think? What do you think? What New Zealand looking to do here?
We're looking for 600 runs and then bowl West Indies out in a day.
This is a perfect this wicket. There's no defense in this wicket, right?
I am not joking, you know. It's a day and a half they would bowl West Indies out. I'm not joking.
A day and a half. Oh, you mean what? Two innings? You're saying? So
yes.
You're looking.
In a day and a half.
Because I mean, no, I know where your mind is. You're looking at us putting up 200 runs, or somewhere not more than that is what you're thinking.
My problem is I don't. You know, let me tell you what's the problem here. When last week, a lot of these players that play this series, other than Kemar Roach, I mean, it's Jaden Seals. Right? I can't see the tired. Roach can't be tired.
Roach is not tired, but a lot of these players have been out, been on the grind for the past 3 months, right?
Long.
I'm talking in terms of the international tour. Yeah. But they've been going since CPL.
You gotta find something here, though. This is what you're playing this for.
Yeah, you. This is why you train. This is why your fitness level is supposed to be where it's supposed to be, right? Listen. If you wanted to play Test cricket, you asked for this, right? This is what you wished for. So you got to tough it out. You got to find ways to tough it out. We can all say they're tired, yes, but you got to tough it out, right?
I'm going to throw something in here. Looking at what I'm seeing with Phillips, I think it's best that we had bowled Warrican. Played Warrican.
I really don't think that would make a difference.
I mean, yeah, probably wouldn't have, but I just try not to. You know, let me tell you something. At this particular point, I want some bowlers just get vexed. Just get vexed and just hone in and just bowl. Let's just get vexed. This New Zealand, you know, I like with New Zealand, they just play simple cricket. We just, I don't. Sometimes I stop straight by West Indies cricket. I got a friend an older friend from Canada, lived in Jamaica. When West Indies started lose in the 90s, The man developed a high blood pressure. Blood pressure raised up so much. But this is somebody watching cricket from in the late 50s, 60s, right through. And grew up around cricket, like literally. It's funny enough, he grew up with people just like same with Tambo Brown. I grew up with sobers going to his house and them kind of thing, and all the players. Father had his actually older brother had a nightclub with him and the father. And that's where the players used to go in the 60s. And he used to go to his house. He used to live in uptown Jamaica. And he had all of this. Funny enough, he had all of that around him. A lover of cricket, true lover of cricket.
Do you think New Zealand can end the day without loss?
That's very possible. We don't look threatened.
It's very possible that they.
Gentlemen, there's hope.
Yeah, there's hope in hope.
We've had at this ground, there have been 6 test matches at this ground in its history, right? Going back to 2019 is what I'm seeing, unless I miss something. Let's see something. Let me adjust it. No. So yeah, this is it. 6 matches. This match here being the 6th match. Make a guess of a team that beat New Zealand at this ground. When I said there's hope,
Bangladesh. Yeah.
Back in 2022.
Yeah, that was recently. Yeah.
I don't remember the context or any particular context as to why it happened, but I'm just saying they won the match and New Zealand batted first. New Zealand put up 328. Devon Conway, that name should sound familiar. Made 122.
He has a love of this ground.
We had a 122 there. Henry Nichols at the time, 75. And then Will Young had a 52. And that was it. I don't expect the scorecard to look like what it is here for that Bangladesh match in terms of New Zealand's first innings. But I'm just saying there's hope. There's hope. 328 all out is possible. And here's the other thing too that is interesting. When you look at Bangladesh first innings, no one scored 100, but they put up 458.
It just shows you need consistency. You don't need to score hundreds. You just need consistency.
Right. And down the order, they had some heavy 50s, a 78, a 88, a 86.
Yeah.
And a 64. That's it.
Australia in the second test against England in the first innings rattled up 500 and something without a century. Yeah,
man. Remember we spoke about that the last time. But check this out. Bangladesh batted for 176 overs and 2 balls in their first innings. We repeat, 176 overs. The run rate, 2.59.
Yeah.
When you look at the strike rates of people like Mahmoudul Hassan Joy, 34.21. Muminul Haq was captain, strike rate of 36. Liton Das, 48.58. He made an 86. Najimul Hossein Shanto, strike rate of 58. That's probably the highest of the lot, and he put on 64 runs. But that's to show you too that men put up big scores, but the time, batted time.
You got about time in Test cricket. That's what it's about, right? That's what it's about. You have to bat time.
So if anybody in the chat know anybody from the West Indies team, send this to them. Tell them they need to go and watch some tape from that match. You know, one of the minnows of Test cricket. No disrespect to the Bangladeshi cricketers.
Hey, say fellow minnows.
Hey, Vanty Williams said West Indies will score 550 runs. Brandon King 123, Shea Hope 115, Imlach 76.
I would love for Imlach to put up a score, boy.
He desperately needs a score, right? He desperately needs a score.
Hey, Vanty, like you've been at see something, right?
But if you had or put it this way, what are your thoughts about the spinner that New Zealand brought in? So when I saw West Indies batting last, I'm thinking, boy, even if we go to a fourth, fifth day, how would we manage the spin?
That man got a whole lot of first class wickets.
So
we'll see. We will see. They're gonna gotta manage because this Ajaz Patel is quite a canny left arm spinner, right?
Yeah, you the 5 wickets already, and the man got 4.
While a lot of those wickets were taken on the subcontinent, including I think he took in one of those innings, he took all 10 against India, sorry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he got best bowling 10 for 190.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I do believe he'll still this is not ideal spin bowler conditions per se, but this guy been operating in these conditions his whole first class career.
This bowling we just look ordinary, buddy. Where we got? What happened to the zip we got? What happened? We just look like Jesus Christ.
It's they're gonna have to go in at tea and have some honest. Based on what I heard, they had some honest conversations after the last test match. It looked like they gotta have another honest conversation at tea, because I can't understand what's going on here. So, right, to the point where Darren Sammy even called out some people's numbers. He didn't say their names, but in the press conference that they need to buckle up.
And both of those men were candidates for captaincy.
Yeah, both of those men were candidates.
They went through the psychometric test.
The whole psychometric testing and all kinds of stuff. I'm still baffled by all this that you needed to do to come up with a captain. If you can't look at the 15 that you're going to select and say, well, that is going to be my captain, you have a big problem. Sometimes I think in the effort to innovate, we overdo things and we overthink things. I don't think much innovation was required to come up with a captain.
On a lighter note, New Zealand is a very nice place.
It is a very beautiful place. It is
Put it on your bucket list, Walter.
Yeah, you gotta go. Very racist, I heard, but
there is some racism issues over there.
You remember Marlon Black had some issues too?
Marlon Black,
former West Indies pacer
from Trinidad.
Right. Okay. I don't remember that story, but I heard
there have been incidents in New Zealand where racism was at the heart of it. There have been incidents.
When it occurred to me that there is some of that over there, maybe within the last 2 years or so, and this wasn't any international thing like cricket or what have you. It's just someone who lived there, and I was like, huh? Because to be honest with you fellas, I've always liked the New Zealand cricket relative to Australian cricket.
Right? It looks a lot more honest, right?
Yeah, so when I heard this, somebody relating their experiences there, I'm like, what? I always looked at
come on. Australia is the US, Canada is New Zealand is Canada.
Interesting way to put it.
Quite an interesting take indeed.
Canada racism is here is not as it's obvious, but it's not in your face like the US, but it's there.
Philip Bain says, I see you guys are having sweet dreams. West Indies batters are not up to the task. The kind of performance in the drawn test will be seen again in 2026 once.
Boy, it looks like that. 2024.
Yeah, we at the Gabba 2025 at
Multan. Multan and no, we improve. You know, you have Multan and you have in New Zealand. That was it. Wellington, that first match. That was it.
Vanty Williams, I think it was Colin Croft that kicked the stumps over in New Zealand. I can't remember if Michael Holden. I do remember Michael Holden kicking stumps over.
Mike Holden.
Michael Holden, yes, in New Zealand. The same thing.
Colin Croft
ran into the umpire.
Yeah, ran into the umpire. Yes. You are correct. Correct.
It was
frustration. It was frustration.
Yeah, because so and that's what I'm saying. Even though we lost in New Zealand, a lot of it was very questionable. Because
they had the umpiring
decisions at that time. So they talk hard, look at talk, but this is why it's not. They don't really boast aloud. They beat we up now because we suck in the last couple of years, but during that time they don't. Oh yeah, they don't do it loudly because people can say, hey, this is. You guys remember that there were lots of questionable at the time the umpiring.
The series ended 1-0, I think. Yeah, so
something of the sort.
And when I look at this, when I looked at the stats that I gave it to the last time, it's not as bad as people say. We hardly played each other. This is the thing. West Indies really play New Zealand.
Correct.
There's some rumblings right now about the monies in world cricket. I'll share in the chat with you guys later on something that someone passed to me about what is going on and you know, people that are bidding for tournaments and the IPL and you know how in India looking to take the market share and not share with other people.
What if the whole world decide not to play cricket with India or not?
It's not. I said to somebody the other day, I said everybody should take up the bottom ball and let India play by themselves.
No, they're gonna get England and Australia to play with them. They're gonna get them. They kind of two of them is too lick body for them. Because they can get greedy and think they're better than people and go. Because everybody is like, it irritates me how these people behave about the Ashes.
I mean, why? I'm gonna ask the question. Why are you irritated? The Ashes is a big thing, right? It's a big thing for them.
What big for we?
You got to say what used to be big. Sir Frank Royal Trophy used to be big. The Wisden Trophy used to be big, right? But those two teams have made sure that, or helped, I should say, in West Indies being where they currently are.
Here what happened, right? The batters will probably stand up in this match.
Oh, there's a possibility.
There's
a possibility.
Bangladesh gave us the blueprint. Have some hope, man.
I don't know.
Hear what? Chase making runs this time. Chase making at least a 50.
I mean, predicted no, but
he can't just only talk about how the batters didn't show up. He got a lead from the front. I expect him to bring a 50.
Next thing we get bowled out for 50 something. Yeah, I'll try that.
Hey, Walt is the ultimate pessimist, yeah?
Nick, I'm a
That's
pessimist.
my coping mechanism, man.
Because I am a pessimist when it comes to West Indies cricket. These banners
Walt,
just
ultimate pessimist.
yeah, I'll try. Yeah, I'll be hopeful for West Indies cricket. But I was only hopeful for yeah.
Mm.
Hey,
Is it tea time as yet?
oh shoot, how much Jason Holder get buy for the IPL, boy?
Quite a few quid. A nice pocket change. There was a little
Yes,
bit.
runs. I get win the too often, won the too often. You're right.
So it's just Jason Holder and Walter favorite batter. Only them two get IPL contracts, right?
No, Akil Hussain was picked up on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Akil Hussain was picked up by the Chennai Super Kings.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Jason Holder. That's why the man. Listen to me. Why? I tell people.
I'll tell you what. Let's one more discussion we can have before we wrap it up. So Jason Holder early up in the year said he is available to play Test cricket, but there have been. This is the third series on the trot. Where let's take out the India one because he said he had a procedure to undergo, right? If I'm not mistaken, he had listen. The man said he had a procedure to undergo. Who am I to? That was previously planned, right? Health come first. I am not doubting the man said. Anyways, Sammy missed, and Sammy as it seems like he's moved on from Jason Holder. Jason Holder has since taken up every T20 opportunity that's available to him. MLC, T10, Abu Dhabi T10. Now he's at the IL T20 with the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. He's going to be at the IPL next year. Well, IPL doesn't clash with any Test series, right? But I think at Jason Holder's age, Jason Holder still has a lot to offer West Indies cricket, the West Indies Test team. I don't think West Indies are a better team without Jason Holder. I know a lot of people are going to come for me with that because some people get in their feelings when they hear Jason Holder's.
He's one of the best bowlers in West Indies cricket.
Right now.
Yeah, I guess so. England 8-4 for 4.
I do believe he's a more of a wicket-taking threat than Justin Greaves. My worry with Justin Greaves, because it seems like Sammy is backing Justin Greaves. My worry with Justin Greaves is you're going to get one-off innings from him, right? There's not going to be any consistent run of scores. That's my worry with Justin Greaves, especially if you're going to ask him to bat at number 6.
Yeah, you feel me? He batted 1 too high.
Right?
He's batting 1 too high. He's not a number 6. Naturally. But anyway,
you got to remember Justin Greaves is not a bowling all-rounder. Justin Greaves is a batting all-rounder. That's the first thing you got to remember. Right? In first class cricket, Justin Greaves don't bat at 6 and 7. He bats high in the order. Right? Anyways, people, it was fun hanging with y'all. I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We got to go. Just Cricket BB.
Grading to do.
We'll tell the tale on if Justin Greaves is one of the most consistent batsmen. Anyways, top of off, people. Catch y'all. Y'all have fun watching. Hope the guys pick up a few wickets before the close of play. Have a good night. If you're in North America, stay warm. If you're in the Caribbean islands, Guyana, enjoy the warm weather.
And the black cake and the sorrel.
Yeah, the sorrel and black cake and pepper pot. Sponge cake. As a sponge cake, man, you know.
And you write some peas from Barbados. Johnny Cake from Bahamas.
From St. Martin. St. Martin is Johnny Cakes too. Yeah. Anyways, people. Catch y'all later.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.